Hello YouTube, it's Lion here with Hobbies of Man once again, and today we are doing another TBR video. Today we are going to do the TBR video for July. Now, July is kind of interesting for me. I've already mentioned it in like the last 5 videos, but I'm going to continue to mention it because it's relevant to what's going on in my life right now. And it's that I'm going out of town for the first half of July. I'm not going to be here. It's not going to affect the content on the channel. I'm still going to have videos 4 days a week. No problem. I just have to record them all like beforehand and have them edited beforehand, which is kind of a little bit difficult, but it's really not that serious. It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't really have anything to do right now because I am off of school. And yeah, now my TBR is kind of like stuff I'm taking with me and stuff I'm leaving here that I'm going to read here, and stuff that is digital so I can read anywhere that I don't necessarily have a plan to read in Mexico, but that I probably will end up reading in Mexico. Because the reality is that although I am going so we can do like family management stuff, like, I don't know, like banks and stuff, like monetary things, I don't have anything to do with that. So most of the time I'm just either chilling at the mall, watching movies in the movie theater, or when we go to my grandma's house, which is like the second half of the trip, we literally just sit in my grandma's house and like have like interactions with each other and eat a lot of food and stuff like that. So I don't really have anything to do because my cousins are smaller than me and I'm not old enough to be in the adult table yet, although I'm 21. So I'm just kind of like in the middle, and I just flitter around both areas, but also like just sit in the middle and just read a lot, which is what I'm going to do this time. And so I have a lot of books that I'm taking with me that are all kind of like big and hardcovers, so that my little cousin, the youngest one is 8 years old right now, doesn't get into his head that he wants to grab my books and try to color them, right? Because they're manga, so they look like coloring books. So I'm preferably taking heavy, big things, so it kind of like scares him to grab them. I mean, my cousins aren't really the type to like damage my stuff anyways, but I mean, my little cousin is very grabby. He enjoys looking at stuff. So, hopefully, he doesn't damage my stuff, but, that's why I'm taking big books with me, right? So, also because big books tend to have more content for the same like space. So, it's okay with me. I'll take the big ones since I do have a limited amount of space. But I mean, it's fine, whatever. It doesn't really matter. You guys don't really care about this stuff. So first thing I'm reading is Hellsing, Volume 1 of the Deluxe Edition. Now, this is about vampires. It deals with this idea of like a vampire helping the Vatican kill other vampires. But then it turns out that there's kind of like this crazy like bad guys at the Vatican. And, you know, basic monster hunting type of stuff with vampires and church. The Catholic Church specifically, but I think this one actually deals with some Protestant churches instead of like Catholic ones. I'm not really sure. I think that's what I remember from the first volume. But this is literally all manga. This is all action. This is like from beginning to the end of the 3rd volume, from 1 to 3, but all of the extras are removed and put at the end of the Hellsing collection in the like 3rd omnibus. For some reason, I don't know why they decided to do that, but they did, and this literally goes on for the whole thing. It's all action, it's all very interesting, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. So yeah, the fact that this is so big and it has like a faux leather material here is actually very useful, because if it damages, like stuff lands on it and crap, I'm just gonna be like, oh, it's part of the patina of the leather, right? I mean, it really wouldn't be, but I mean, it can pass off as that and it won't look as bad. It won't like hurt me emotionally that it's going to be like a little bit stained, because these are naturally going to stain over time since they are this like faux leather material, right? So hopefully it doesn't hurt me too much if my little cousin or my other cousin mess up and like throw shit on top of this, right? So hopefully nothing bad happens to my books, but I gotta take some manga with me because I'd go kind of stir crazy other ways. Next is Captain Harlock. So I'm going to take all 3 volumes. So here's volume 1. Here's volume 2. And volume 3, right? And the reason I'm taking Captain Harlock with me is because of a very similar reason. The fact that these are kind of heavy and like big. is going to deter my little cousin, the one that I'm worried about, from grabbing my books. But this is also a very interesting story that I've wanted to read for a while. And now that I have it, I have been kind of like chomping at the bit to get at it. But I finally am going to during this time that I'm spending in Mexico. And yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily know what this is about. It's about a space pirate. I know that. And I guess he goes around kind of like helping Earth, since he's from Earth, and kind of also doing his own thing, just kind of flying around the place and just like doing what needs to be done, which is very interesting, very anti-hero-like, very Han Solo-like. I think it's very cool. And I'm really looking forward to it. This one, the first volume, has the greatest anti-hero of all time as the title. Book 2 has A War for the Galaxy. And the last one has the final showdown between humanity and the Mazon, which I guess are the aliens that are trying to hurt humanity. And I also got this, like I bought it, but I also am reading it because I really enjoyed Space Battleship Yamato, which is up there in the corner right there. And I really enjoyed Leiji Matsumoto's work. Even if he's not the best at drawing, he's pretty good at storytelling. And I want to collect all of his stuff. So besides this, there's also Queen Emeralda's. And I think there's a manga in France for the Daft Punk art stuff that they did, because it's like the same stuff as Leiji Matsumoto's. And then there's also Captain Harlock Dimensional Voyage, which isn't actually Leiji Matsumoto, but it's like related since it is Captain Harlock stuff. And then there's also the Space Battleship Yamato 2199 manga series, which is available from Dark Horse. So hopefully I can pick up all of those and collect as much Leiji Matsumoto stuff as I can. Next, I'm going to read Vinland Saga. So I'm going to read Vinland Saga Volume 1. 2 and 3. Now, Vinland Saga isn't very heavy, but it is kind of big, so hopefully that deters my little cousin from grabbing it. But if not, I mean, the fact that it's so, like, weak feeling, it is, like, okay. Like, it doesn't... I wouldn't feel too bad if this gets damaged, because it's inevitable since it's so, light, right? So, it's okay. Vinland Saga is a kind of Viking story, very in line with stuff like Last Kingdom or Vikings, the TV show. And in fact, it's actually maybe more similar to Vikings Valhalla, which is a new TV show that's going to come out on Netflix this year, which is like 100 years after Vikings, the original story. And it deals with this idea of Vinland, which is like the Golden Land, the land west of Iceland, which is America. And kind of like going there, but also it's a story about revenge from the main character's perspective, Thorfinn. And it's also a story of international intrigue and political situations and war, right? So it's a very interesting, kind of very complex story that kind of starts like a shonen and eventually turns into a seinen, literally because of the demographic change happening when the series changed magazines, but also because, the kind of character as a kid is very shonen protagonist-like, and then later becomes a very more damaged individual in line with like more seinen type of stuff like Berserk and, ideas like that. So I'm really excited about this. I actually really like how these look, even if I don't really love the fact that they're kind of like really light for hardcovers. But I mean, Vinland Saga is great, and hopefully I can actually buy the other Makoto Yukimura work, which is Planetess. But that's a Dark Horse one, and those are always hard to get. So who knows if I'll ever buy it? But if I do, I'll be very happy with that. I also wanted to see if I could buy some Vinland Saga in Spanish. I don't actually remember who sells it. It might actually not be available in Mexico, because Latin America and Spanish-speaking countries in general don't all stock the same stuff, because all of us, although we speak Spanish and we are able to understand each other very well and read each other's versions of the language, we all actually have different rules for the language. So it's actually kind of interesting. But there's 3 major Mexican companies. There's Panini, which is Italian actually, but they have a big presence in Latin America in the last 10 years, mostly in Mexico, which is like maybe the largest Latin American company in terms, or the largest Latin American country in terms of mass media production, which is why neutral Spanish has been so similar to Mexican for so long. Although neutral Spanish is a misnomer, there is actually no neutral Spanish. It's just what's it called? Kind of like an idea represented by 4 different types of Spanish. The Latin American version being most similar to Mexican Spanish. Okay, and what was I saying? Oh yeah, and I want to get Villain Saga, but I don't think so, because I don't think it's from Panini, and I don't think it's from Kamite, and I don't think it's from Planeta Comics, which is the other one. But maybe it is, and if it is, I hopefully will be able to get it. I'm going to go to this cool store called Usagi Tokame, which is like a manga store. And hopefully they have some Vinland Saga stuff there. But if not, oh well, I mean, it's no big deal. I'll buy other stuff instead. Like, yeah. So, enough about Mexico. I talk about that place too much. So, everything I just showed you is the stuff I'm taking to Mexico for sure. Now I have stuff that I'm probably taking to Mexico, and I'm not really sure if I will, but I am hoping to. And that is Reign of the Seven Spellblades Volume 2. This is actually a very skinny volume. It's only 180 pages, no, 190. Okay, 190 something pages. And that's actually very easy, very enjoyable to read. I mean, I'm not going to have any problems with reading it. So, I mean, I would probably take it. However, I am afraid that this is going to get damaged or squished or in some way messed up in the travel. More than anything, I don't really think my cousins are going to grab any of my stuff, especially not if I leave it in somewhere where they can't reach. But I am definitely afraid of like stuff falling on it when we're in the car, or like just like not taking care of it by accident because I'm kind of clumsy, and like just ruining it by stepping on it or something stupid like that. So I don't know if I'll take it with me, and that kind of applies to all of these that are coming up next. But the 3 that I'm talking about right now are going to be specifically ones that I want to take with me that I'm not sure I will because I'm afraid of damaging them. So yeah. Reign of the Seven Spellblades, Volume 2. This is kind of the continuation. We kind of deal with the second half of the school year, according to this site here. And there's some big tournament arc happening in this volume that starts in this volume. And of course, we're going to see some more cool stuff from my boy, what's it called? Oliver. Yeah, Oliver and my girl Nanao. And I'm really excited about this. I also want to know who this guy is. Here, let me show you. Tullio Rossi. I don't know if that's going to be the new kind of like Oliver Wood kind of guy, or if he's going to be something more like an evil version of Sirius Black or something. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited. I love the first one. I can't wait for the second one. Next, I have Agincourt, which is not a light novel. This is the only non-novel or not light novel / manga thing that I have on my list. I probably will take this since this is used. I'm not gonna, it's not that bad. Plus this is a very floppy book, so it's really unlikely that it's gonna get damaged, but who knows, right? So Agincourt is a historical fiction written by Bernard Cornwell, the guy that wrote the Saxon Tales, which are the ones that the Last Kingdom TV show is based on. So I really like that show, and I really enjoyed the first volume or the first book of the Saxon Tales, which is the Last Kingdom. So I'm looking forward to this one. This is some sort of a heroic tale. It deals with the fight of Agincourt, which is from Henry V, the Shakespeare play. Well, actually, it's a historical situation that Shakespeare talked about, that then this guy talks about because he liked the play of Shakespeare. And I started reading the first chapter of it, and I actually found it really enjoyable, although it doesn't have anything to do with war yet. It deals with the squabble between 2 different people, or 2 different families in a little village, which is probably what's going to turn into a large-scale conflict or later on, or it's going to kind of inform us about the conflict later on. So I'm really looking forward to it. I probably will take this with me, but I don't know if I'm going to take any of my like single volumes of light novels and manga. So yeah. Okay, next, Solo Leveling. So, Solo Leveling Volume 2. This is pretty exciting. I assume that this has some more crazy good stuff from the author here, Chugong. but I don't actually know what this is about. I mean, there's really no images at all either, so I have no kind of like stuff to base it on. But basically, it seems to be like we get introduced to the character's little sister. We get to see some more of his power system. And of course, he gets better and better and stronger, right? So let's see. It says, one stub, the weakest hunter of all mankind. Jinwoo is now, well, something else entirely. Armed with his system, he's currently powerful enough to be single-handedly able to clear a dungeon that once would have been life-threatening. He has to be ready to enter the demon castle. And what better way to do that than finishing a quest? Exclusive new weapons and skills from an assassin class job might be exactly what Jinwoo needs. So I guess that's what he's going to do. But then at the end it says, but the system seems to have other plans for him. So who knows what's going to happen, but I'm really looking forward to it. And hopefully I can buy the manga of this at some point. This is not available in Latin America just yet, but it's definitely available here in the US. I just couldn't find it the other day that I went to BAM, Books A Million, so sucks to suck, I guess. So, okay, now we're definitely in the I'm not taking to Mexico, I'm going to read here in the US category of stuff. So, first, Mobile Suit Thunderbolt, or Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolts, which is a very cool series. This kind of is a standalone series in the Gundam universe, as far as I know. That's what Otaku Mike has said, and that's my understanding based on other stuff that I've read about the series. And it basically is Universal Century stuff, 0079, space colony known as Side 3, proclaims independence from the Principality of Zeon and declares war on Earth Federation. So it's like a very crazy space opera with giant robots, which is awesome. I love that type of stuff. And I guess it kind of follows this idea of war with humanity, but also with Zeon, which is kind of like the space age version of the Third Reich or something. I'm not really sure what it was, but I think it is kind of like Third Reichy in that sense. And it's very interesting. I really like the designs for the robots that they have here. Except for their ass rockets. I don't like those at all. But, I mean, it's whatever. It's because they're deep space robots. So they have to have, like, rockets to propel them forward and stuff. I mean, I think they're also weapons or something. But either way, I like this Zaku. I think that's the Psycho Zaku. So that's pretty awesome. And the art here looks great. The characters look amazing. But also the mechanical design is great. Let's see if I can find some good stuff. I'll just show you the color pages. Actually. Yeah, so look at that mechanical design right there. And then look at the character right here. I don't know who that is, but they look attractive, and that's pretty cool. And then there's some color pages here at the beginning, which have a Gundam in the more traditional Gundam sense. And then a Zaku right here, which is badass. Zaku is the coolest looking Gundam that I've ever seen. And then we have some characters here. And what else? And then this Zaku with a giant cannon. And what's the other thing? Oh, more Zeon guys. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I don't really know much about it, but my buddy Doug Penn loves this. And a lot of people like it, so I'm looking forward to enjoying it as well. Next is Fire Force. I'm going to read Fire Force 1 and 2. I already read 1, but I'm going to reread it and then read Volume 2 after that. I'll probably be reading this first, actually, in like my whole month. Since I don't really have much time here in the US for the first couple of days of July. But I still have enough time to read a volume or 2 of manga. So, yeah, we're going to read this. I'm looking forward to it. Fire Force is by the same creator as Soul Eater. And it kind of deals with this world infested by fire monsters, which is pretty interesting. And, and it's a battle manga. I mean, there's really nothing much to say about it because I don't know anything yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Next, I'm reading Dreaming Sun, Volumes 1 and 2. I have Volume 1 over there, but I didn't feel like taking it out. And I'm going to read this. I think the series is only 10 volumes, so I'm like a fifth of the way there. Hopefully I enjoy it so I can continue to collect it. And I'll probably have a video for this up late in July. So, yeah. Not much to say here. Basically, this girl is tired of living with her family because her dad basically ignores her. Not out of malicious intent, but rather because, like, he's busy with his new wife and the new kid that they have. And so he hasn't been able to provide her the necessary emotional stuff that she needs. And so she runs away. She goes, lives with these other guys in like this like group house, and really enjoys her time with her and kind of has a found family type of moment. And then now she's trying to live with them, but there's also this kind of idea that she's falling in love with one of them, but it might be all of them. And it's a very concerning, like, confusing time for her in a very shoujo style, which is, you know, slice of life romance. What are you going to do? That's just what it is, right? So, yeah, then we have Rent a Girlfriend Volume 2. I'm also going to read Volume 1. Nope. Yeah, Rent a Girlfriend is basically about this guy, Kazuya, who gets dumped by this girl right here, and then rents a girlfriend, which is a kind of like soft core prostitution thing that happens in Japan that is like somewhat acceptable as I understand it. And then he kind of gets mad at the professional girlfriend because she's great as a when you're paying her, but she's horrible when she's not getting paid. And then he gets her embroiled in this whole kind of situation with his family, and hijinks ensue. They start kind of interacting with each other and having some kind of like positive feelings for each other. And then this girl shows up and stuff goes all over the place. And we get to see our boy Kazuya struggling with women, which is kind of interesting. I like the main female character a lot. I don't know anything about this one yet, but I feel like she's gonna suck. So, yeah. Besides that, my digital titles that I want to look at are Sky Island Saga, the first, the 2 arcs in the Sky Island Saga of One Piece, which is chapters 218 to 302, which is gonna probably be a very easy read. I'll probably load them up onto my iPad on the Shonen Jump app, and then kind of just have them with me if I ever need to when there's no Wi-Fi. So like when we're driving. But who knows? The other thing I want to check out is Ishigami Village Saga from Dr. Stone. That's chapters 13 to 45, which is kind of like the first big arc of Dr. Stone. And I think I can read the Dr. Stone Reboot Byakuya manga, which is completely by Boichi, right after chapter 45. And that was what I'm really looking forward to checking out. But who knows, right? When I'll get to reading that. Then I have a few other titles that I want to look at that I might not get to this month, mostly out of laziness or because I am not in the mood for them, which would be Naruto, like from chapter 100 all the way to 238, which is the end of the original kind of Naruto arc. It's like till the end of Sasuke retrieval mission, which fails, and then that's the start of Shippuden. So I'm gonna read. I'm gonna have that on reserve if I ever end up needing to read it. And then the 2 books that I left over from this past month in June, which would be Rise of the Experiments, I think that's what it's called, and Bright Blade, which I actually probably will have finished by the time that I go to Mexico, but I don't know when I will read it. So yeah, if I finish everything and I still have time in the month, I'll probably start reading The Shadow Rising, which is book 4 of Wheel of Time. But, I mean, that's all I have for you guys today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you guys are reading this month. And if you liked the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry, I kind of went on and on and on. I don't know. I just feel very talkative today. So hopefully that works out well in my favor, and I end up doing all of the YouTube videos that I need to for this month. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys later.